The United States men's national team will face off against Saudi Arabia on Thursday, June 19th at 8:15 p.m. Central Time at Q2 Stadium in Austin, Texas. This will be the 8th all-time meeting between the U.S. men's national team and Saudi Arabia, with the U.S. holding a 3-2-2 advantage historically. Now, these results are completely irrelevant, as these two countries have only faced off once in the last 2 decades when they played to a 0-0 draw in an international friendly in 2022. While Saudi Arabia is no small island nation that Jesus Ferreira would stack up goals against, they're also not an international powerhouse that we should traditionally fear, and it is safe to say that soccer in our country has grown exponentially in the last 25 years compared to most countries in the world, especially Saudi Arabia. If we're looking at the talent pool between each of the two teams, I would say that typically the United States takes the W here. However, that may not be the case looking at our two lineups. While we have some serious talent on this roster, this is still far from our A squad, and we are coming off of a rough stretch where we dropped 4 of our last 5 games, with that one win coming against a very poor Trinidad and Tobago on Sunday evening. Saudi Arabia, on the other hand, is 3-1-1 in their last 5 wins, with their most recent being over Haiti, Jordan, and Bahrain. More notably, they tied Japan 0-0 in a World Cup qualifier back in March, and they followed that up with a 2-1 loss to Australia on June 10th. In their opening match of the Gold Cup, they scraped a 1-0 win over Haiti, and while that isn't necessarily anything to write home about, a win is a win. And we can't forget that while this isn't the exact same lineup that beat Argentina in the 22 World Cup, they still have a lot of the same key components, and that just proves that they are dangerous. And any team that can beat Argentina can definitely beat us. Now switching up to talk about our guys. We're coming off of 2 disastrous friendlies before a 5-0 win against Trinidad and Tobago on Sunday evening. Granted, this is a very poor Trinidad and Tobago team that is coached by Dwight Yorke, not captained and led by him like the 2006 side that went to the World Cup. I think we can come away with a win here, but it will take another strong lineup and it won't be a blowout. The guys that Mauricio Pochettino puts on the field are going to have to show up and they're going to have to play. This is going to be a much more difficult game than we saw on Sunday against Trinidad and Tobago. As far as the lineup that we're going to put on the field, I'm saying that we're going to see that same 4-2-3-1 formation that Mauricio Pochettino seems to be very fond of, and I'm thinking we're going to see Matt Freese in goal again. You don't give him the opening game of the Gold Cup and then rotate into Matt Turner. I think that this is Matt Freese's position to lose as far as the Gold Cup is concerned. If he has a stinker, I won't be surprised to see rotation and Matt Turner gets his opportunity. However, you don't open a tournament with a goalie and then switch it up just for fun. I think that Matt Freese gets a little bit of a leash here in the Gold Cup. Beyond our goalkeeper, I think that we're going to see the same back line of Arfston, Ream, Richards, and Freeman get another run out. We need to start building some chemistry if we want to look good and comfortable with one another when we get into the knockout rounds, because the stronger teams, Canada, Mexico, Panama, they are going to be comfortable, they're going to be organized, and if we're not, they're going to punish us. That being said, I do want to see John Tolkien get a start, and I want to see him get a run out at left back. I think he's more of a pure left back and can be utilized in a very strong way, where Max Arfston is more comfortable as a winger. I think that overall, his experience and his natural ability as a left back can complement Tim Ream really well. I think our next two are destined to be Luca De La Torre and Johnny Cardoso if he's healthy. We saw Sebastian Berhalter get a start, and while he looked fine, I don't think that he did enough to necessarily keep Johnny off the field. And if Johnny's healthy, I think he gets the start here. Beyond them, I think our attacking 3 is going to be some version of Diego Luna, Malik Tillman, and Brendan Aronson. I believe that each one of those 3 can play in the midfield. They can be competent enough in this lineup. And we saw Malik Tillman do a really good job drifting around. And I think that we could see some interchange between Luna and Brendan and Malik all moving in and out from the wings to the midfield and vice versa. Ultimately, I think that our little Brendan, he put forward a good enough effort and a good enough performance in the minutes that he got to justify putting him on the field again. Going to the other side, going to our other wing, Poch loves Diego Luna, and why wouldn't he? He's performed every single time he's gotten a chance. He's looked dynamic, he's looked creative, he's looked hungry. That's exactly what we need, and Diego Luna being on the field is a big plus in my book. Finally, I think that Haji Wright goes up top. Ajiman was really disappointing over the weekend, where he put only 2 of 5 shots on target from basically point blank range. And if he didn't get that goal, which was basically Diego Luna's, Ajiman didn't know anything about it until it had happened, he would have next to nothing by his name on the stat sheet. Yes, all goals count, and we're going to take every single one as they come. For example, Haji Wright's goal in the World Cup, pure luck, right? Nothing there says that that was skill. However, it's going to go next to his name and he's going to own it. So we'll give that to Ajiman. However, Haji Wright came into the game on Sunday and he had an instant impact. He looked good, he looked dangerous, he looked capable. I think it's his time to shine and to stake his claim as maybe that number 3 striker if he is in fact going to leapfrog Josh Sargent, which Josh was not called in. So it looks like that spot is definitely up for grabs. Overall, I'm saying that we get a 2-1 win against Saudi Arabia and we punch our ticket to the knockout rounds on Thursday night. Let me know what you guys think. Do we walk away with a win, or do we go into our matchup against Haiti having it be a must-win scenario? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, leave a like, and I will talk to you next time.